Dear students, starting with the next unit, unit number 15, subscreens, in which we are going to discuss only one lesson, lesson number 1, defining subscreens. So this is lesson number 1, defining subscreens. Now, what is subscreen? Generally, a subscreen, you may say it as an independent screen which is being displayed onto the main screen. So firstly, you need to create a subscreen area onto the main screen, and then on this subscreen area you may display any subscreens. So it is not mandatory only one subscreen you can show it onto this subscreen area. You can show any number of subscreen onto this subscreen area. But one thing that is most important here, each subscreen has also the two modules PBO as well as PI. Similarly, for the subscreen 2, again we have two modules PBO and PI. Similarly, for the main screen, again we should have PBO as well as PI module. The process of creating this subscreen onto a subscreen area, I am going to show you practically. Just open the program on which you want to create a subscreen area. Open the particular screen, main screen. Now go to layout of the screen. Enable the element list. And you can see this is our subscreen area. So just click it and drag it up here. So this is a rectangular area on which the subscreen will display. Now I am assigning the name here. Suppose this is name is subscreen underscore area. So this name we will use in case of programming. So click on the save button. Now this subscreen area has been created. So here you can create many subscreen in the program and display onto this subscreen area. Now double click on it, it will show you the number of the attributes related to the subscreen area. You can see we have scrollable subscreen. You can also create, you can resize it as a vertical as well as horizontal. So you can also give here the minimum column that are required for horizontal and as well as vertical. This subscreen also allows the modernization of the screen. Why it is so called modernization? Because single screen subscreen area we can use for the number of subscreens. So it proves the concept of modularizations. Second, dynamic screen modification, because you are using the same subscreen area and displaying the many subscreens onto a same main screen. So it proves the concept of dynamic screen modifications. One more thing that I want to tell you about this subscreen. Once you define this subscreen, you must include this subscreen into the PI module as well as PBO module. Come to the next topic. As you can see, there is another property of this subscreen is reusable subscreens. That means once you have defined a particular subscreen area or subscreen, that you can use many times onto the many subscreen areas. This is subscreen 1, so we can use it in the many programs. You can use it in a program, that you can use in a B program, and similarly to the number of programs. So one subscreen can be used for the many purpose. That's why it is called reusable subscreens. Now the next topic, subscreen area, which contains the number of attributes, and the subscreen area has a number of attributes like the screen name, start position of the screen, static size of the screen, switch and reaction of the screen. Another attribute is subscreen. That means in the subscreen area you can include the subscreen, and that subscreen may be resizable. That means either you can resize it vertical and horizontal, that I have recently shown practically. and similarly you can also give the minimum size vertical and horizontal. Third one is scrollable. You can either make it as a subscreen as a scrollable part. Come to the next topic, how we can create a subscreen area. As I have told you in the practical example how we can create it, there is an icon like this one and you can just drag and drop onto the main screen. It will create a subscreen area and you can also give the object name of the particular subscreen. You may also note down the steps of creating the subscreen. The first one is select a subscreen from the object list. Once you have selected the element from this element list, then you can enter a name of the subscreen area and you can position it onto the main screen, and you can then adjust the top left corner of the your particular subscreen area, as well as you can also modify the size of the objects. Now come to the next topic, how we can call a subscreen. For calling a subscreen, we use the particular syntax, and the syntax is call subscreen and subscreen area. We have defined a subscreen area name, so you can call it as, so this is our subscreen area, that is the name of this object, subscreen area. So you can use it into your program, and you can see here we are using the same thing, call subscreen, the subscreen area, and including the program for which program you are creating this subscreen area, and then DynPro number. This DynPro number is your screen number, and I have already told you about this. This is a mandatory to use or call the subscreen in both of the modules, PBO as well as PI. So we cannot only call the subscreen into only the one module. You must have to call the subscreen into the both the modules, process before output as well as process after input. As you can see, this is an example. This is a PBO module on which we are calling the subscreen, call subscreen. There is a subscreen name including SY, CPROG, and this is your screen number. The same statement you have to use into the PI, call subscreen and only the subscreen name. No, you don't need to include this statement including SY, CPROG and 0101. Come to the next topic, special case visibility of the data. Once you are defining the subscreen and you are using some data, that means you are using some variable for a particular subscreen, you must have to use the same variable name into the ABAP programs, so that you can or program can visible the same data variables into the both subscreen PBO, PI as well as into the main ABAP program. Come to the next topic, subscreen from external programs. You can also call the subscreen from the external programs. So you cannot access mainly the global data of the main program in the subscreen if it is not in the same module pool. As you can see, this is a ABAP program and we have created a subscreen area, and we are placing some screen onto this one, subscreen onto its subscreen area. So this ABAP program has a capability to call this global data into this subscreen area. So in the previous slide I have told you that once you are defining the some data for this subscreen or subscreen area, you must have to use it as a global data. The name of the variables that you are declaring for the subscreen as well as for the ABAP program must be the same. But if an external program, ABAP program B, wants to call this subscreen area, so it is or it cannot access the global data of the main program. It is not possible to call the main program data into the another program because it is not in the same of the module pool as the main program. So in this case, the data transfer from the screen to the program doesn't occur. So how we can access this one? You must have to implement the data transfer using the function module. So in this case, we need to use the function module. And as you already know, in the function module, we have some type of interfaces like import parameters and export parameters. By these import and export parameters, you can transfer the data from the main program in which you have implemented the particular subscreen to the another program. Come to the next topic, subscreen encapsulation in function group. So in the previous slide I have discussed about this function module. So we have a chance to call a particular subscreen outside of the main program. That means the other program can also use that particular subscreen. So how we can do that? With the help of function modules. So you can make the number of function modules and put into a function group, and by this function group or function module, you can transfer the data from the main program in which you have defined the subscreen to the another program. So in this case, the global data we have to put into the function group. Come to the next topic, subscreen in function group call sequence. Now once you have defined your function modules or function group, how the data or call sequence will be held in case of subscreen calling. So you can see this is in our ABAP program in the left hand side, and this is our function group. Suppose the function group name is SAPL, and we have the global data. This is global data. That means the function group always contain the function module as well as a global data. So this global data is being shared among these number of function modules, and this global data is visible to only to these functions F1 and F2. So outside of this function group, no one cannot access without using the interfaces. So we have only the one option by which we can access this global data, the subscreen data. So you can see in this function group we have the global data as well as two functions, function F1 and function F2. So you should use a module prior to this subscreen call to exchange the data between the calling program. So how we can import and export data, and how we can make the call sequence. Firstly we need to define here the module, this module export underscore data. So before calling a particular subscreen, we must have to use this module export underscore data, so that the data firstly be transferred from ABAP program to the main function group. Because if the data is not present in the ABAP program, how you can call this particular subscreen? So before calling the subscreen, you must use this module export underscore data. So when the processing will start, firstly it will call the module export underscore data. In the export underscore data, we are calling the particular function, call function F1, and we are exporting the data and importing the data. That depends upon you. You can see this is exporting the data and this is the importing the data. For this function we are exporting, and for this function F2 we are importing some data. After doing this one, you can call the particular subscreen. So here we are calling call subscreen and then subscreen number, including this is program name and this is our screen number. And I have already told you, once you are calling into PBO, you must have to use into the PI. So we can call it as a call subscreen and SUBI. So in case of PI, because in the PBO module we need to export some data to the screen. So we first have to call this module export underscore data. But in case of PI, we have to use this statement after the calling of subscreen. So here I am again repeating about this one. You can see there, you should use a module prior to the subscreen call to exchange the data between the calling program and the function group. So a function module is called for this purpose. So we are calling here the function module, and it must be called before the screen so that the data is known to the particular function group. Similarly, the process after input processing block of the subscreen is called before the function module called to the transport the data back from the function group to the calling program. So this sequence must be kept in mind while calling the subscreen outside of the main program. Now come to the next topic, subscreen in the function group data transport. In the previous slide I have already discussed about this one. So you can also see that how the data is being transferred. The data is transferring from, suppose you are calling this function for exporting. So exporting parameter will transfer to this one, and from this parameter to it will transfer to the main function group global data. You can see this is a f1 global underscore data 1. So we have exporting from this one p1 underscore f1. So the data from p1 underscore f1 will be copied to the f1 underscore global underscore dat1. This is a global data in case of function group. Similarly for the PI, you can see for the PI model we are importing the parameters. So this from this one f2 underscore global underscore data 1, we are transferring to the p1 underscore f2, which will be transferred back to the main program. So this was all about the unit number 15. So dear students, come to the practical part of creating subscreen onto the main screen. Step number 1, go to SEAT, select the program for which you want to create a main screen as well as a subscreen. So in my case, my program name is zscreen underscore new. Now select any one of the main screen. So we have already created number of screens. So in my case, I am selecting the main screen as a 1700. Now make it editable mode. Now step number 3, go to the layout editor of the screen, or you may say that this is screen painter of the particular screen. Now we need to create here the screen area firstly. So this is our subscreen area. Just place it onto this main screen and give the name here. In my case, I am giving here SUB. Now click on the save button, check for the errors and then activate it. So we have created here the subscreen area, or you may say that the rectangular area on which we want to display the subscreens. Now close it. Now the step number 3, we need to create subscreens. So just right click on the main program and then click on the create button and then screen. Here we need to define the subscreen number. So I am defining here the screen number, that is 100, and then click OK and give the short description here. So this is my first subscreen, so I am giving here the short description subscreen 1. And now select the screen type, that is your subscreen, and then click on the save button and then check for the syntax error and then activate it. Similarly, if you want to create another subscreen, just right click on it and then create and then screen. In this case, I am giving the screen number 200 and then OK, give the short description. So this is our subscreen number 2. Now select the screen type as a subscreen and click on the save button, check for the syntax and then activate it. So now go to the main screen, this is our 1700, and go to the layout and create the 2 buttons. By on clicking these 2 buttons, it will select the particular subscreen. So in my case, I am creating here, this is screen 1, and give the text here, suppose this is screen 1. Now you will need to assign the function code here. So in my case, I am defining SU1 and then click on the save button. Second button I am creating for the screen number 2, subscreen number 2. So defining here, this is our screen 2 and assigning here the name, this is screen 2. Click on the save button and give the function code. Suppose I am giving here, this is SC2. So we have created here the two buttons on which when user will click, it will display the particular subscreens. When the user will click on the screen 1, it will display the subscreen 1 content onto this subscreen area, rectangular box. When the user will click on the screen number 2 button, then it will display the subscreen 2 onto this screen area. Now click on the save button and then compile it and then activate it. Now the next step, go back, select the first subscreen, and we can also drop out or create some elements, or we can take it from the dictionary. So in my case I am taking it from the dictionary. This is table S flight, get from dictionary, and then select the some fields. In my case I am selecting this first three fields, carrier ID, connection ID and flight date, then OK, and then drag drop. So we have selected here the element list for the subscreen 1. Save it and then activate it. Now come to the next subscreen, which is the next step. Double click on it, go to the layout button, again select some of the fields from the SFlight table. So in my case I am selecting these 5 fields and place it into the subscreen number 2. Then click on the save, compile and then activate it. So here I am again repeating the steps. Step number 1, create the main program. Step number 2, create the main screen. In my case the screen is 1700. Then go to the layout of the screen, main screen, and place there the subscreen area and create the 2 push buttons, screen 1 and screen 2. When the user will click on the screen 1, it will display the subscreen 1 onto particular subscreen area. When the user will click onto the subscreen 2 button, then it will display the subscreen 2 content. Now create the 2 subscreens. In my case I have created the 2 subscreens, 100 as well as 200. On the 100 we have placed some data elements. Similarly for the 200 I have placed some data element from the SFlight table. Now in the previous video I have told you how we can call this subscreen, and it is must to create or call the subscreen in both of the module of the main screen, and the main modules are PBO and PI. So double click on the main module and go to the flow logic. In this flow logic you can see we have 2 modules, PBO and PI. So here we need to call the subscreen, and syntax is call subscreen, then taking n. So if we have to define the subscreen area. So in my case subscreen area is SUB, then including, then SY REPID. Here this is system REPID define your current program. That means current program means the current program is, in my case is ZScreen underscore new, and the main current screen is 1700. So here I am defining here n, and the value of n we will pass through the button by clicking on the button. Now again call the subscreen into the PAI also. Call subscreen and then sub. Use the Pretty Printer, click on the save button, Now go to the main screen. This is our main screen, and in this PI, we want to call this subscreen using the user command button. So we need to uncomment this module user underscore command, and just double click on it, and it will ask to create an object. Yes, go to this one, then press OK. Click on the save yes. Now here I want to create the local variables. You can also create the global variable. So in my case I am creating here the local variable. This is data, and then we need to define the variable n, and this is n4, and the type I am giving is a numeric type, and the default value I am giving here, the value is 0100. Now in this module we need to call the particular, so we will use the case here. In this case, when the user will press the button, so I am assigning here the SY UCOM. Either you can also create the OK code button. In the previous practical program we have created the OK code, and then OK code will work same as that of SY user command. So in my case I am using the SY user command. So user will press any key or push button, it will take the command, system command. So when the user will press screen 1 button, SC1, so we will assign the value n equal to the first screen number, and the first screen number was 0100. Similarly, when the user will press second screen 2 button, then we will assign the value here n equal to 0200. So by this way you can create the subscreen and call the subscreens. Now make it non-editable mode, right click on it and check for the syntax. Now right click on it and then activate it. Now we have already created the transaction, and before running this program you can also set the GUI title for this particular screen. So go to this screen, and the screen number, main screen was 1700, make it editable part and uncomment it, and just double click on it. It will ask you to create the status, yes, and then OK, then OK, click on the yes button. So now I am here assigning set title. So title is our subscreen program. Now click on the save button, check for the syntax, and then make it non-editable mode, right click on it, check for the syntax, just double click on it, create yes, and give the title here. This is our subscreen program. And then activate the main program. Now the transaction that we have created, just double click on it and then check for the syntax and then execute it. So here I have called the screen number 1500. So firstly we need to again create the transaction. Just right click on it and then create and then transaction. So transaction code I am assigning Z screen underscore sub. Short description, this is our subscreen program. This is subscreen program. In the previous transaction I have given there the main screen number was 1500, so but in my case I am using here the screen number 1700. So program is same. This is our jet screen underscore new and the screen number will be 1700. Now we need to select here the GUI port, SAP GUI for Windows. Click on the save button, give the package here. So this is our temp package. Click on the save button and then execute it. So you can see this, it is showing our the previous main screen data as well as this our subscreen area. This subscreen area on which the screen 1 default element it is showing. Now when I click screen number 2, it will change the content of this subscreen. So when I am pressing this screen 2 button, it is calling the subscreen number 2. When I press this screen 1, it will call the subscreen 1. So by this way you can create the subscreen area and you can place the, or you can call the particular subscreen onto the same subscreen area. So you can see the so this was all about the programming part of creating the subscreens onto the main screens. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channels